Hello, Aries. This is Angel Aura Divination, and I'm here to give the sign of Aries their June 2021 General Tarotscope. Um, I did a long collective message that I wanted to kind of lead you to if you haven't listened to it yet, especially if you've been a long-term follower on my channel. I would love for you to go and listen to the collective reading first. It's also kind of giving the overall energy for the tarot scopes as I go through them. But this is the June 2021 Timeless Tarot reading for Aries. I'm using the Energy Oracle to give the overall messages for the reading, and then I'm also going to be using the tarot to further emphasize what the Energy Oracle is expressing. I'm going to be doing an intuitive reading, meaning that I'm not using any of the descriptions. I'm not going to be reading from any books or anything like that. I know I've done that in the past, but anyway, let's just get into it. Okay, Aries, so what we have on the bottom of the deck is victory. This is 28, resonating with the energy of 10, resonating with the energy of 1. So this is about new beginnings. Victory is about new beginnings, and that's kind of the overall theme of the reading, for that being on the bottom of the deck. But I'm not going to go any further with that because I like to use the bottom of the deck as the ending of the reading as well before I get into the advice. The first card that I have out for you, Aries, is the man holding a coin. I'm going to be shuffling the deck as I continue to read, so bear with me as far as that's concerned. This is a 43, resonating with the vibration of 7, man holding a coin. I don't know if you see that, like, the way that I'm seeing it, but I will tell you the number as they go along. The man holding the coin is about a lot of things. This could be an individual around you that would like to offer you some form of material abundance, whether that's a gift, money, a paycheck, or anything of the likes, whether that's money or not, material or not. This individual around you may be connected specifically to the crown chakra, meaning that whatever it is that they have to offer you, they've connected to their own divinity, their own union with the universe to give it to you, and they felt guided to the situation. If that's not them, or if this is not somebody outside of you, then this is a representation of you. You're connecting with your own guidance. You're connecting with your own higher self, your own crown chakra, and the energy that you get from the resonating vibrations around you that are leading you to have more material abundance over time. And you're in your masculine energy at this time. 7 is about, divinity. For me, 7 also would represent luck. I don't consider 7 a lucky number, but a lot of people do. With all the grass in this picture, I also would say that you are very spiritually protected. I always see greenery as spiritual protection, especially the heart chakra, because it's green. So you are connecting to the crown. You're also connecting to the heart, meaning that you're connecting to your inner self and the spirits that surround you, your own guides or the guides of other people or spirit itself, whatever you'd like to call it, to make decisions about the material gains that you have, and make decisions about the abundance that you have, and move forward with that. Whatever you have to offer to others is what you've developed yourself through your connection with the universe. And that's great energy to be in. You are very, very much protected and very much guided right now in this energy. So let's get some tarot cards out. We have the 2 of Pentacles, we have the 7 of Cups, we have the 10 of Cups. And I'm just going to leave it there for right now. I might draw more cards, I might not. With the 2 of Pentacles, this is talking about indecision. Pros and cons, weighing out the odds and figuring out what it is that's going to benefit you when you make a decision towards what it is that you want. This is you connecting to divinity, connecting to your guides, connecting to spirit to make a decision that's going to benefit you when it comes to materials, especially. With this being Pentacles and the man is holding a coin, which is what Pentacles are in the tarot at least. You are connecting to understand with yourself, your higher self, to understand what it is that you can provide and what it is that you can build on. In the background of this card, there are buildings, and there's also greenery here as well. You are being guided, you are being protected in this energy, and that's what is emphasized to me. With the 7 of Cups, you have multiple options. This isn't just about 2 options as described in the 2 of Pentacles. There's a lot of options, and some of these appeal to you emotionally, and some of these appeal to you on a material sense. And it's kind of like, am I going to connect with myself on in my heart space to make this decision, or am I going to connect to my intuition and my connection to spirit to make the decisions that I need to make? Some of these decisions may even be illusionary. Some of these decisions that you have to make may even be, not necessarily for the highest good of every individual that you are currently involved with, but they ultimately will lead you down the path to the 10 of Cups. Ultimate happiness, ultimate divine emotional fulfillment, regardless of divinity, honestly, but it's about ultimate fulfillment, especially if you're looking for a family, if you're trying to make money to provide for others, if you're trying to make money to have a fulfillment in a relationship, if you're trying to have any of those kind of things where your abundance not only affects your livelihood, but it also affects the livelihood of others, that would be supported with this man holding the coin energy. You are holding the coin, meaning that you're also holding the steering wheel, is what they said. See this coin in this picture and see a steering wheel in his hand. You are taking the wheel. I'm hearing Jesus take the wheel, and it's like you must connect to, and maybe you follow Jesus, or maybe you follow the teachings of Jesus or Christianity, or maybe not. It's all you, not me. And you are coming to an understanding that you are the divine guide that is leading you down the journey that you have. And that's very interesting that they put it that way to me. We have the Seven of Swords here coming out next for you. This talks about illusion, and this also would kind of emphasize that 7. And then now we have a 777 with the 43 adding up to a 7, and the man holding a coin from the energy oracle. We have the 7 of Cups, and we have the 7 of Swords. That's a 777. You won the lottery, you won the jackpot. But with you winning the lottery, with you winning the jackpot, you lost out on something as well. And so there's an illusion with the abundance that you have in the material that it is supposed to be everything for you on an emotional level, and that is kind of evading you in your mind right now. So this is my guidance to you, saying if you think that money is everything or that money gives you happiness, a lot of times it doesn't, and you must come into an understanding and an awareness of that before you go out to make more. That also might be what you're being guided to understand now with connecting to the universe and connecting to your own divine guidance as well. We have the Ace of Wands coming out for you next. I'm going to draw one more card, and then I'm going to leave it at that. The Ace of Wands talks about a new beginning when it comes to the connection with spirit, but it also talks about a new beginning just in general when it comes to the energies of career, when it comes to the energies of passions, whether that's on a physical level, a career level, an emotional level, or any level. It's about connecting with others, connecting with your path, connecting with your passion, connecting with your guides. And it's a new beginning, and so it's kind of like coming out of this illusion that things are going to work out just because you have a lot of options, and understanding that you must make a choice to have the material abundance. It's not just about having an abundance of choices, it's also about making the choice that is going to continue with the abundance that you already have when you notice the potential out of all the options that you have to move forward through. Wow. Okay. And so, this could be about work. This could be about romance. I'm really saying that this is about work. This is about material abundance. This is about your connection to your job, your career, your passions, especially with the Ace of Wands coming out. It is a new beginning, and it's like a new beginning that's leading you down a path towards a greater understanding of what it is that's going to fulfill you during the long term when you do make the choice to have a family, when you do make the choice to move towards whatever happiness on the most high level is for you. I know that kind of came out weird, but I'm also kind of channeling as I'm saying this, so sometimes it's going to come out that way. We also have the Chariot here as the final energy, meaning that, your guides are present here. But also you're balancing out the negative and the positive energies surrounding you, meaning, there is an emotional aspect to making choices through career. There is an emotional, and there also is a material aspect to it as well. And you are standing in between those energies and kind of trying your best to balance them out. I always see the Chariot as being divinely guided, meaning that this person is also connected to their own, energetic source, just like the man holding the coin. And also trying to balance out the emotions and the materials to make to make the 10 of Cups, to make the ultimate happiness for yourself in this energy. You want to move forward towards things. You might even want to show up for others right now, show up for yourself, show up for the people that you want to care for, and that might even be about a relationship. That might be about showing up to a job that you don't necessarily think is going to fulfill you emotionally, and then finding out that it does. That might also be about, I'm seeing the sphinxes in the Chariot, and thinking that also might be, showing up for your cats and dogs, your pets, going out and figuring out what you're going to do about that. But you're ultimately moving towards an energy of development, towards building, clearing out the illusions of the emotional, clearing out the illusions of the material, and understanding that what fulfills you is only for you, and what you move forward towards through your own manifestations with your guides is what is going to benefit you the most at this time. making the decision that, materials aren't everything, but neither are emotions. Neither is intuition. Nothing is everything. It's everything that makes up everything, which means that you're coming at everything that you're dealing with the same mindset, meaning I understand that my intuitive guidance is just as much informing me as my emotional guidance is, as my logical mind is. And it's like putting all three of those parts of yourself together to make the decisions you need to make when you are weighing out the pros and cons of your job situations, when you are weighing out the pros and cons of your emotional, social life and things like that. Interesting that the next energy oracle card that we have out is Happy Family. This looks just like the Ten of Cups. It's basically the same thing. But I'm getting informed that I need to be reading this card as it is instead of associating it with the tarot. I think of the Happy Family as kind of like connecting. You might be healing your inner child at this time. Coming into a loving situation with others, people that you're related to and people that you're romantically attracted to, anyone you consider family, whether that's chosen family, biological family, etc. You might be going on vacation, you might be taking a trip. I also see astral travel in this card as well. I also see connecting with the ancestors. This is 4, the resonance of 4, the energy vibration of 4. I see you possibly even connecting to your higher guides, whether they're gods, deities, whatever it is that you consider to be your guides. I said Jesus earlier, so it could even be Jesus, and this is also about, they're saying something about the divine feminine and divine masculine coming into unity consciousness within that. Interesting. What would a beach represent? Land coming into contact with the sea, materials, and it's exactly that energy that I was talking about when I was describing the man holding a coin, where it's like you're coming into a union within what you understand to be material abundance and emotional abundance, and understanding that true abundance is unity within those two aspects of themselves, which in essence would also be represented through the connection between divine feminine and divine masculine as well, where the masculine would be more about material on one end of things, and the feminine would be more about the emotional, but not necessarily, because the feminine could also be about emotional, and the feminine can also be about material, and the masculine can also be about emotional, but in different ways. So coming to a different understanding about all of those things, and that might be something that you're contemplating right now as well. If this is about a relationship, you might even be wanting to have a happy family situation and being faced with the decision when it comes to that. The next card, the tarot card that I have out that first comes out, is the King of Swords. The King of Swords, to me as a reader, does define, a need to make a decision, a need to connect to your logic to make better decisions for yourself. We also have the Four of Wands coming out. This might even be a home situation, or a situation involving making decisions about your environment, making decisions about what it is that you genuinely want to grow on. Who do you want to be in a relationship with? What do you want to be developing on in the career sense? Who do you want to grow a household with, if that is about family, if that is about relationships? On the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Cups coming out, and the next card that we have is the King of Wands. So this would definitely be geared more towards the masculine collectives of Aries, but this could be Mars energy just coming out strongly through your reading as well, especially because we have the man holding the coin, we have the Chariot, we have the King of Swords, we have the King of Wands, and now we have the King of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Although I'm not going to keep this in the reading. This is, saying, oh, this is something about government. So it's like, this could also be, connecting to yourself and understanding, they're saying something about working with the man, working for the man. It's like, yes, you can have that, you can have that great government job, but it's not going to give you emotional and happiness just because you're there. You know what I mean? It's like you have a great career, but that's not necessarily going to be the end all be all of your life if you don't have anything, if you don't have anything to show for it. If you don't have anything to show for it, then it's not going to be all the end all be all of your life at all. Is there anything else that we have for the Happy Family card in the Energy Oracle? Can I have some more tarot cards, please? We have the Three of Pentacles, which would be another emphasis of working in government, especially because they're building a cathedral here. But this, the tarot was made during times when, or in a situation where, you know, the church would also represent an institution. The government itself is an institution. And so working for the government or working for the man to build something that's sacred is important here, or is being emphasized here. If this is about a relationship with a masculine or from a masculine, if you are masculine, whatever, then you are trying to develop something here that is going to be sacred to you, that is going to be influential to you, and possibly even to others, creating a legacy for yourself so that future generations will see what it is that you created and look at you with a fond memory. And that's an interesting way to put it, but that's the way that they're describing it to me right now. You know, and that also would talk about the Eight of Pentacles, which is the next card I have out for happy family. It's like, yes, I have a work life, but I also have a family life that I want to develop as well. That's what's coming out for me in this reading. And it's kind of like, you want to focus on this material abundance, and it's like getting your career in line, but understanding that, you know, the relationships you have in your job, they're showing me a situation in like a corporate office kind of thing, where it's like you have friends in the corporate office, you know, but it's like your work life isn't your real wife, you know, stuff like that. And it's just a topic. I'm not saying, you know, hey, what you got going on is what you got going on. That's your business. But that's what's coming out to me in this reading. Anything else for the happy family? This is the last card. It's the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands talks about conflict. Maybe you've been feeling certain amounts of conflict with your work life, with your family life, or with development in those different areas of life, where it's like, I want to have a happy family, but I also want to have my own relationship with abundance, you know. And sometimes that would call for the necessity of an unorthodox relationship with the job, or an unorthodox relationship with the family. For example, you know, if you have a partner, okay, now they're saying something about, like, should I say that? It's something about along the lines of like those traditional standards of, you know, one partner, if you're in a relationship, especially a marriage, or you know, if you're in a relationship with another person that you happen to live with, one person takes care of the home and one person takes care of the money. It's that kind of thing, or brings home the bacon is what they said. It's not necessarily about who makes the money, but it's like that serves a purpose in itself. And so it's kind of coming to an understanding that there are different aspects of life that serve different purposes, whether this is about a relationship or not, because not everybody's going to resonate with the idea of, you know, one person stays at home and takes care of the house, and the other person brings in the bacon. That's not everybody's life, you know. With the Five of Wands here, but that talks about conflict, and it could even be conflict around other people. Maybe you have your own idea of what, you know, material abundance is in relation to what, you know, familial or emotional happiness and abundance is for you. And other people might have their own opinions about that, but it's up to you to defend that. They're saying something about having your own sense of boundaries around what it is that you feel guided to do with your own connection to spirit, instead of what other people think is their connection to spirit. They're saying even that there are people that have negative connections to different entities through different ideas of what ancestors are supposed to say, through egoic connections with the ancestors and their ideals about what guidance even is on a spiritual front. Meaning, you know, some people use Bible verses to inflict harm upon others. It's that same energy. The ancestors say that you're supposed to do this and that. If you're connecting to your ancestors and they tell you, you know, to paint your room purple, then paint your room purple. If you're not hurting anybody, why is that one way to go about guidance than to do the opposite of that, where your ancestors tell you to paint your room purple, but because of whatever reason you're like, oh well, every room is supposed to be white, and then paint your walls white and don't take that guidance. It's that simple. Develop your own relationship with your own self, your own connection to the universe, your own connection to your guides, and your own connection to your career and your understanding of what that's supposed to be. Just because you're in the corporate field, or just because you're in government, or just because you want to have a family, doesn't mean that those things cannot also be one aspect of life. And that's the other thing that's coming out here with the Happy Family card. Now I'm moving on to the Energy Oracle card of action For Aries, this is not necessarily in the most surprising card to come out. I think it's interesting because this card has a black and white horse, and in the Chariot that came out for the man holding a coin, we also have, you know, the black and white sphinxes talking about balance and movement. You know, moving through the universe with a balanced energy, with a balanced understanding of, you know, what is true divine action for you when you come into union with your higher self. And this is also a further indication that you are being protected by your guides, by the universe, by spirit. With all this greenery around you, you are being led down a path that might set you free. You know, horses represent a journey as well. You might be going down a journey and understanding that your path needs more balance, or a different form of balance than what some other people might understand to be balanced. With the Chariot energy, sometimes that would indicate a state of imbalance. And so that might even be what you're feeling sometimes as well. But even when you're going down a path to understand what balance is for yourself, you must feel in balance at some point to come to a greater understanding about what balance is for yourself as well. So let's get some tarot cards out to further emphasize what this action card is speaking about for Aries. We have the 8 of Wands. We also have the Hanged Man. I did get a heavy contemplation energy out of this reading, I must say, and that's further emphasized by the Hanged Man. I didn't think that anything was going to be this stagnant. The Hanged Man is kind of a stagnant energy in comparison to a lot of the other cards that have come out for you, but it's not surprising that it comes out, because this talks that it is really exactly what I was talking about. Balanced action sometimes also mean to balance inaction, and this is talking. The 8 of Wands is talking about the balanced action that I'm speaking of, or that they're speaking of, really, because that was a channeled message. And then the balanced inaction is you hanging yourself up on the post to come into a greater understanding of what you need to do, the decisions that you need to make. The 8, or what is this? The Hanged Man is a very similar energy to the 2 of Pentacles, where it's like I'm taking a moment to really weigh out the pros and cons of the things that I need to do. So in the past of energy, you might have even felt, you know, the indecision that you were being placed in, and that's only going to be further emphasized. But the Hanged Man is a representation of a much healthier form of indecision, where it's like I am going to sit down with myself, my higher self, my physical self, whatever you want to call it, and have this experience where I do literally list out the pros and cons of the decisions that I'm trying to make before I take immediate action with the 8 of Wands energy and with the action card, to have what it is that I need to do. The action card is also a 17, resonating with the vibration of 8. And 8 is about infinity. To me, 8 would be definitely associated with the infinity symbol. It's infinity on its side. So it's kind of like, oh, an infinite connection with the universe. I love that. That's what I heard. Oh, okay. So the next cards we have out for the action card and the energy oracle is the Ace of Pentacles and the 6 of Pentacles. And this is further emphasizing the idea of balance within this reading. Understanding that I have to balance out the energies in this life so that I can have something to offer when it comes to my connection with the universe. My guide's giving me something to offer to others in a balanced way, so that I can give to people who need something from me, but also give to people who I want to give to, that will also give back to me in a healthy form. Excuse me. We also have the 9 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles. We have the 8, the 9, and the 10. We have the 8, we have the 9, and we have the 10. So this is developmental energy for you, especially in your connection to the universe. You are growing a greater sense of, awareness with spirituality, with your connection to your career. They're saying something about even physical health. You are connecting. You might even be going on a deeper experience with your physical health, where you're coming into a greater alignment with your physical body to understand that not everything that happens to you is a health crisis, but not everything that happens to you is a spiritual message as well. I know I've experienced that sometimes, where I'm like, oh, my foot hurts. I mean, what does that mean spiritually? Maybe you're going through that as well. And now I'm going to talk about the bottom of the deck with Victory. The Victory card, they said this is the goddess Nike. I don't know if that's true, because I don't know if that's what that says in the book. I don't think so. This is a 28, resonating with the vibration of 10. They're saying this is related to the Ten of Wands, which is about burdens. It's kind of like while you're going through this energy of trying to decide, you know, what is going to benefit you as you move down this path, whether that's with career, relationship, whatever, on the spiritual journey that you're on. The energies surrounding you are going to be more burdensome at times, but then there will be a great release afterwards, and that's what this victory card is really representing for you. The focus on the gold energy in this card is also important. It's like understanding what is going to fulfill you, and then being able to manifest that through action. It's what's going to benefit you the most at this time, Aries. There might be sacrifices along the way, like the burdensome energy of the wands increasing in form, meaning, you know, your passion, it's like, they're saying like the words passionate release. I don't know exactly what the hell that means, but like, it might even be that, you know, parts of your dreams might have to be put onto a longer path chronologically with your life if you want to have other things happen for you at the same time. So if this is about career and you also want to have this family energy that I was picking up on, then it might benefit you. They said behoove you because of the horses in action. It might behoove you to put some of your career goals on a longer time schedule than you originally planned for, so that you could have a family, or so that you can have this divine union with the masculine and feminine in your own spiritual relationships, so you can, you know, make the choices you need to make to have a more balanced journey than the journey you're already experiencing. And so I was going to shuffle a little further than that, but thank you. We have Blossoming Abundance that came out of the Energy Oracle for the Advice card. And this is going to be the last card out of the Energy Oracle that I read for you. This is also the energy vibration of 3. Blossoming Abundance. Oh, you're very much spiritually protected. You're very much guided by spirit, guided by your guides. You're very much in harmony with your own connection to the universe right now, especially through the heart chakra. I see an opening of the heart chakra. If you do have plants, if you do have a garden, if you do have house plants, it would be beneficial to you to ground yourself in union with those organisms at this time. This is going to be a very transformational aspect of the journey, coming to an understanding of balance on your path. But you will be going through this alone. Even if you're in a relationship, parts of your path are going to be alone. I would say spend a little time in nature and see if that helps you. Spend some time out in the sun. Because now I'm looking at this, and because the sun, this is the only card out of the main parts of your reading. The sun is in the background of the man holding a coin right there. Like he's sitting in a picture with the sunset behind him. In the Happy Family card, the sun is in the center of the sky at the end of the rainbow. And then in the action card, these two horses are riding, and the sun is just above the outline of this picture. So spend some time out in nature, spend some time under the sun, and see if that heals you at all. I know this was a very esoteric reading. I wasn't really giving you a lot of mundane ideas, but hopefully this resonated for you, Aries, and I'll see you in your next reading. But that's it. Goodbye. Okay, goodbye for real.